It's been an eventful month of February for Kirsten of South Africa in the solo Golden Globe race, who finally rounded Cape Horn at 2020 UTC the 15th of February. She moved to first place after 150 days of racing and since had to face two storms, breaking a spinnaker pole and taking down her massive twin sails on Minnehaha, who was being rocked by the residual swell. With the final 10,000 miles to La Sable d'Olonne on her mind and sensing pressure on her beloved yacht, she sailed a conservative course further and longer towards the northeast to avoid the stronger winds and sea in the first front on February 7th, trailing warps and nursing Minnehaha in the ensuing storm. Then finally a southerly course south of Diego Ramirez Islands, creating good sea room from the Chilean coast, before finally heading up for a long look at the infamous final cape of the course. A treasured memory. With over 240,000 miles sailing experience, she knows this area very well, sailing many times as a commercial skipper to Antarctica. But this is the first time she crossed the Pacific solo to get around. The famous rock was surrounded by squalls that forced her to make continuous adjustments, poling the Yankee and reducing sails when necessary. Despite all the action, she could hardly speak during her safety call because of the cold, as she was rounding. Cape Horn is part of international folklore. Most know of its fearsome reputation for ships and lives lost and the emotional relief of finally sailing past. It has been like that for hundreds of years. For solo sailors, it is the biggest single objective of any planned circumnavigation, and it is not gained easily. Sir Robin Knox Johnston in Suhaili made the first solo non-stop circumnavigation via the Three Great Capes in the 1968 Golden Globe. Around 180 sailors have now done the same. Vito Dumas in Leg 2, his 9.5-meter double-ender, not dissimilar to Suhaili, did it first, with stops, in 1943. Around 150 have now done that too. So 330 solo sailors have been drawn to this ultimate challenge of Cape Horn and a solo circumnavigation. 4 Golden Globe sailors are still trying for Cape Horn. Then it is home to La Sable d'Olonne, which is also the home of the International Association of Cape Horners, Hall of Fame recognizing many of these great solo sailors. The register of all solo sailors who have done it is here. Abhilash Tomy of India sailed past the infamous Cape Horn for the second time, and in second position of the 2022 GGR, at 6 p.m. Universal Time, coordinated on Saturday, the 18th of February. His first solo rounding was on January 26, 2013, while sailing Midday, a Van der Stat Tonga 56 design, supported by the Indian Navy, in an attempt to become the first solo non-stop Indian sailor to do so. He succeeded, and the memory of that was strong in his mind this past week. He spent most of the previous week trapped on a lee shore off the coast of Chile, desperately trying to repair his broken wind vane in 30 to 40 knots of wind bound for Cape Horn. He fixed it. Meanwhile, Michael Guggenberger of Austria, on board Nuri, is just 400 miles from Cape Horn. His well-prepared Biscay 36 is in the middle of storms with 60-knot winds and 8-meter seas. GGR has been providing regular weather updates, but there is nowhere for him to hide. He has prepared well for this blow, which is going for nearly 3 days, while the seas continue to build. 6 hours before the peak of the storm was due to hit, he reported. 23:10 UTC the 21st of February. All well on board. Current wind. A lot. Waves are super big. Main and mizzen lash tight to the boom both on lee and low. Storm jib is pulling on the bow. Have about 40 to 50 meters rope with about 20 kilos of chain at the end, holding the stern. Happy sailor. Lots of water and positive. All well for now. Michael G. Unlike Kirsten and Abhilash, the Southern Ocean is new territory for Michael. 10 years ago, when Abhilash rounded the rock for the first time and Kirsten started roaming these southern seas, the Austrian sailor had sailed a total of 7 days in salty waters. This is a testament to his preparation, his team lead by Stefan Weigel, and his dedication to a lifetime GGR dream. Captain Gug has been lucky with generally acceptable weather and seas for virtually all the Southern Ocean to date, with no major storms. Other competitors ahead and behind have had to face heavy storms and devastating calms. He also managed to finally catch some desperately needed freshwater. 46 liters, to be precise, now carrying a total of 95 liters aboard. He still has all of the Atlantic to go, but the chance of rain may get better after the Southern Ocean. He hopes so. He is expected to round the Rock on Saturday 25th, if all goes well.